energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D!
Wait a minute, that's Darren McCarty's voice. He's Darren
look
McCarty. My name is Neil Rule. Happy to have you with us. We got KG. We got Spencer Raxter. It is a Tuesday. And look, there's a couple of house cleaning things to get to. Number one, D-Mac, I gave you guys the weather yesterday.
Thank you, Neil.
I brought it back for a day. I'm one man. I couldn't get it all in the carry-on.
You're the Javi Baez of weather.
Yeah, today is the Javi Baez 2 for 12 stretch with 5 strikeouts.
The man's
That's
playing
what it
well.
is.
Leave him alone.
That's what it is.
Leave him alone.
But no, yesterday was awesome, no doubt about it. D-Mac, welcome back.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. How was Florida anyways? Because DCFC, what a big win that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, that made it a good trip, no
Shout
doubt.
out to the boys.
Well, it did. And I thought, man, I was like, Neil never let us down. I was out there yesterday, this weekend, got the golf going, getting ready to start my golf league today. And so
Not happening.
it's all good. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Hey, nice to see while I was away. A couple conversations. And Neil, you're not worried because it's a long season, so Javi will probably Javi. But right now, let's ride these Tigers.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Praise Javier.
We're going to get into that
Yeah,
because
let's get
Praise
into it
fucking
because-
Javier.
you know what's funny about it is, and we'll get into it coming up at 11:14, the Scooble discussion seems like it's more about re-signing and stuff like that. Like every time he does something,
I don't
that's
want to think about it, dude.
well,
I don't
Spenny,
either, to be
but
real.
but it's like, do you notice it too, man?
Yeah.
Like everybody, that's what they go to now. It's wild.
It's
so
scary.
well,
It honestly scares me. Like, I know it's not the same GM, but I have nightmares of Max Scherzer. Like I
Yeah,
really
they've done
do.
it before.
I really do, man. It makes me really nervous. And I like pitchers the most out of any like spot in baseball. I just love the art of pitching and how the JV was my favorite Tiger of all time, even with Miggy there. Like I love Miggy and everything, but JV was always my guy. And school, like I already bought my Jackson Jobe jersey. It came in, I got that boy already hanging in the closet. I love Scooble, man. How he plays the game, he's the best pitcher on planet Earth. And they need to sign him. I don't give a shit. Give him $300 million. You got to fucking do it, man.
Spenny is not the same GM, but it is the same
get it
owner.
done, man.
They're not. I just don't
Give
think they
yourself
are
a
either.
bell.
Yeah,
Give yourself a
not
ding.
the same GM, but
Yeah.
it is the same owner.
But we'll get there. Speaking of money, happy tax day to everybody.
Shout out.
Dodging the motherfucker.
I just
Great
know.
tweet.
I know that
Great-
withdrawal's going to hit today, and I'm scared.
Catch me if you
Let me
can.
paraphrase your tweet or whatever. This is the day of the year where you give away money or whatever.
Well, no, it's I stopped by the post office this morning on the way to work and taking the kids to school.
Shout
I
out
got
to post office
yeah,
workers.
I got
Salt
rid
of
of
the
all
earth.
that extra money I had laying around.
Yeah.
I drop it in that little blue box,
Uh-huh.
and away it went. So that's my yearly tradition. All that extra money that's just been sitting there, that's gone now.
That's
So-
exactly what I did. I was smart this year. I learned my lesson. I actually saved, expecting it, and the withdrawal. I know the withdrawal is going to hit my bank account sometime today, and it's just going to make me sad to see all that money go.
Well, just know.
good thing you're getting overworked, bro, and you're sticking in, and it's Woodward Spencer Network for the next few days.
Just know you might need a new audio guy if the IRS catch up to me. If I go missing one day,
Going out
just
like
you know
Wesley
why.
Snipes.
Right? If I go missing, you know why.
You should hit up Wesley and pick his brain on that whole situation.
Yeah, I'm
KG.
going to.
I think Kenny's telling on himself that he already did. That's why he's preparing us for this situation.
There you go, Mac.
Yeah,
He's got his battle plans ready.
I do.
absolutely.
Exit strategy, as they call it.
MPWMU, we're not doing the political stuff here. I'm not getting into the quote all taxes theft. That's a different show. That's a different network.
Goddamn right.
That's a different
All I
show.
know is this town's going to shit. No, that's all I know.
yeah. So
I
absolutely.
fix 696 by myself. If it doesn't mean I get taxed.
Hey, did Len send you over the graphic?
Which one?
The Groves JV baseball one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to do an update.
We got a Groves JV baseball update. By the way, it was a big weekend.
Did they get back on
for
the winning
Groves
train?
9?
Team of Big D Energy.
Absolutely, the official high school
When
baseball
I left,
team of
they
Big
were
D
off
Energy.
I actually had to go away. You know, it was nothing because of things I had to do. I was just in disgust with what Lentz had put on that field. And
Yeah.
I saw a victory. I wasn't coming back. So obviously I'm here. So there's good news to report.
There is absolutely. They got a win yesterday over North Farmington by the score of 8-2.
Shout out.
Second consecutive win to improve to 2-5, and you have to
Hey.
shout out Ryan Lentz, the head coach, also the graphics person here at Woodward, the JV Green Birmingham Groves junior varsity
Brady
coach
as
Brady
well.
Wood,
Yeah,
the
Brady
hitting
Wood.
coach. He's
job.
come to life. 8-2 win.
Yeah, it's about time, Brady.
They trying to turn it around.
Over the
Brady.
weekend, they had a complete game one hitter they were 0-5 coming in, and that was their version of Scooble that came in, turned everything around. And you know what? You know who did it? Ryan Lentz told me he was talking to the team after they lost the game to go 0-5, and he said he took a page from Cade Cunningham's book when they were going through the losing streak, and they were 2-28. And Ryan said to his team, he said, "This isn't an 0-5 team. We're not an 0-5 team." And lo and behold, 2 in a row. Got to look at a third one here today, weather permitting. So
Nice.
shout out to Groves JV Green Baseball.
Good for them to
They're
dig
back.
deep and get back on that horse.
They are
man.
back.
You
They are
damn
back.
right.
I'm calling it now.
Let's go.
8-2. I think they won 11-0. The
Damn.
other game, yeah, they're putting up runs. You like to see the bats come alive. It took them a little bit to warm up. But that's what happens. You know, you got to let the
Well,
bats
this
warm up
time
a
of
little
the
bit.
year, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like the golf season. You just don't get out there in April and start playing your best. So now hopefully the boys can go on a heater.
Mike
out.
G, does Groves have an El Mago equivalent? Yeah, I would say their hitting coach, Brady Wood, is an El Mago equivalent. Finally, either they must have stopped listening to him or something.
Yeah.
But, you
I
know,
don't
they're
know, Brady
getting,
doing something right.
yeah.
8 and then 11 runs. Like
Whatever
that's-
you guys are doing now, just keep doing it
Yeah.
and keep it pushing, everybody. Ryan, JV Green is back. They are back.
They
Yeah,
are back.
shout out.
They are
man.
back.
Shout
We're going to
out.
get into the Pistons Nick stuff. No question about that as well. But yeah, shout out to JV Green Groves baseball.
That's what I'm talking
There's
about.
some draft stuff to do. This is a whole new world, D-Mac.
A whole new world.
We've never had this before. Since Woodward's come in, we got watch parties going on for the Pistons game
Damn right.
Saturday night.
Well, I mean, it really is historic, and it's unfortunate that we don't have both teams. But this is the first playoff series games that are going to be played at LCA.
April.
I mean, in what 9? How long is this?
Since
place?
2019.
Yeah.
April in the
What's it,
Second
was
playoff
19, right?
series ever. Yep.
Yeah.
Second playoff series ever in LCA.
Yeah.
Woodward Sports.
Both Pistons.
Woodward Sports chat thread.
Thanks, Kenny.
I'm sorry. I just had to remind you. Sorry.
Yeah.
This guy over here.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Mike G. Groves JV Green keeping it simple.
Benny,
Dump
what's
and
that
chase.
number to the federal government?
Oh damn! Are you gonna rap me out?
No. I just wanted to
You gonna
make
rat
sure
your
I was
boy
all
out?
up to key.
Damn.
I was just wondering that
We
somebody
big
was
snitching.
calling me. I just wanted to make sure.
We big snitching, huh, man? Damn.
No. Stitches get stitches, bro. I got no stitches.
Yeah. So
Just saying.
does the IRS? Spenny, you may know this. You've run afoul of the IRS before.
Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to take a page out of Spitty
Does
book.
the IRS have like a tip line?
I don't know about a tip line. They got people to yell at, though. I've done that before.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them, though, because, like,
You know they got a tip
Can you
line
hand
somewhere.
in? Can you
anonymous tips.
Yeah. You know,
Call
like
in his deep throat and be like, yeah,
Right. It's this guy with dreads. he
No,
owes you
it's
guys
not.
a substantial amount of money.
if you think you have Calvin Shepard, you don't. It's the
Yeah, right.
it's instead it's the actual guy we're talking about here.
That's all I'm about to use is my doppelganger. too.
Hey, you better text Calvin Shepard. Say, hey man, make sure your taxes are in order. The street.
They might come.
It might be a case of mistaken identity
Right, they
that
might
seems to
come
go
for you.
around with this government now.
Jeez,
So,
man.
yeah, just be on the lookout for that. The Ski Max boy, if you filed taxes last year, you don't have to file them this year.
That's
Thanks,
true.
D-Mac.
I think you can skip like 2 years, I think.
Burn in the super chat. If you want to
wow.
skip the chat line, go ahead and do like Burn did. Skip the line with the super chat. Going to take a moment, lay a rose on the Twins' grave. Their season ended in April. You hate to see it.
I was
Rest
told they
in
was the
peace.
best in the fucking American League Central. What the fuck? What happened to the
They
preseason
stink.
prediction?
What a dog.
I told y'all,
They
man. I tried
stink.
to tell y'all.
Hey, little secret. They've always stunk.
Thank you.
Their baseball team is essentially their football team, who is essentially their hockey team. That's how it works in Minneapolis.
Yes, sir.
I always hear about it. I look up when it's coming down to it. I never see them. And guess what's going to happen to the basketball team?
Same thing.
Newsflash, asshole. Minnesota sucked the entire goddamn time.
Right.
Right, absolutely.
Wasting Ant's career, man.
Yeah. So there you go, Minneapolis, and there you go, Vikings fan, because this is really about you. That's what it is. Mike G, Neil, do I have to claim all my get right wins as capital gain? Well, deduct your losses first.
You can deduct your losses first.
I mean, that's how I would do it.
April in the D.
Mike O, hey Neil, time to backtrack on your lame Javi take. Okay, since you asked, and I was going to go to the break,
Watch.
but since you asked,
We got Kenta watch too.
Dog, for real.
we had an update to Kenta watch.
I'm
we
sick of
did.
his shit.
We said we update that one. We update that one as needed.
Mm-hmm.
But Javi Baez, another patented infield single, right?
Damn right.
All right.
Get on base.
Big walk in
He had
this
a walk.
game.
On
Big
base,
walk in
Javi.
this game.
He took a called third strike center cut fastball for no apparent reason.
Don't matter.
Live and die by the sword.
He did. So Javi is hitting 289 right now
Respect to Joe Murphy.
with a 341 on base percentage,
There we go.
a 368 slugging
Oh, yeah.
percentage.
Hey, man.
Nothing but ropes.
Singlier Bias. Okay, I like
Close
it.
to 4.
Bless you.
He's not that far. from 4.
He has 11 hits and 9 strikeouts.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
How
Okay.
many walks? 3 walks?
Base on balls, he has base on balls 3.
3 walks? I'll take it.
All jokes aside, I mean, I think he looks better like
does.
at the plate.
You're
does.
definitely getting so much more
Yeah,
of
like-
whatever. And what you can't say, right, is the fact of, because the biggest thing with Javi is like, that's production out of him, but he's not hurting the team.
Yes.
Right? So that's the whole thing before, is that, and that's why he needed to get hurt, because he was a detriment to this club. So if at anything, they learn how to play regardless of whether he's in or out of the lineup, I mean, give him his props. Now, Neil, like, this is a long season.
Yeah.
Right? And,
Well, no, he's
and
arrived. It's over. This is
over.
it. These are the
He's
final
here.
numbers.
That's
He
where
is
it's
back.
weird. But the whole thing is this team's winning, and he's part of them winning, and he's been part of that success. And I look at the big picture is that last year they needed him out of the lineup, and that's when they made their run. Like before that, it seemed like he was a hindrance. Now it doesn't seem like whatever he's done, he's at least level. That left side of the infield. Mm-hmm. With Sweeney and whatever at the bottom of the order, whether you got the Dinglers or the Rogers or whatever, like they're giving you more than you ever thought that they would.
Yeah.
And that's been the consistency. I mean, you look at Dingler. I mean, you look at the way that
He nice, bro.
turning into a solid pro. Now you got time. He's got a lot more of the season, but this team is playing like a team. They're winning like a team. They're getting hits.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing those things early in the game, but their guys are stepping up. And to be honest, like, okay, he's not a hindrance. You're not going to buy him. I still believe everything I said before is that why is he here? But the fact is, you got to trust AJ Hinch and the fact that he's not hurting this ball team. And
He's
they
helping,
see
I would
that.
say.
Mike O, who said it's time for me to, quote, backtrack on my lame hobby take. So Mike O thinks he's worth $25 million a year, and he's going to vote for him for the All-Star team. So, okay, Mike O, got it. You're in. Absolutely.
Middle ground.
Real quick, before we cut to the break and get into the
Kenta
Tigers a little more. Kenta Watch.
Yeah.
Let's get you
Motherfucker.
updated on this. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I'm
no,
sorry. I'm still mad.
I've turned over a new leaf. You need to get on board with Kenta Maeda.
Oh, really?
You need to.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because when we sat here on April 4th, his ERA was 15. Okay? On April 4th.
His ERA is 15.
He had 2/3.
That shit is
He
wild.
pitched 2/3 of an inning against the Twins. No runs, KG.
Barely.
So he's back.
Barely.
And according to all you guys with the Javi stuff, I'll do it with Kenta.
Fact.
He's back.
And what you mean no
2/3
runs?
of
He
an
gave
inning.
up a run.
2/3 of an inning. No runs against the Twins this weekend. That ERA went from 15 to 12.27.
Oh, wow.
Then last night, 2 innings, an earned run, Lowered his ERA from 12.27 to 9.53. So suck it, KG.
There we go.
That's because
fine.
he's back. And I don't care what you say.
He ruined his
He's
shutout
back.
for school.
Well, no. Hey,
I'm holding it against
why
him.
Why do you have such an unfair expectation?
It don't work the same, Neil. What you
for
trying to do right now, it don't work the same
Kenta,
way.
that's pretty good.
It don't work the same way.
No, for Kenta, how does it not work the same?
You don't believe in that shit.
It's-
So you want Kenta to be
No,
an
KG,
all-star. Oh, you want Kenta to be signed through
Hey,
4 years.
if he continues at this track, then yes, he will. He should be.
Okay,
It's a
Kenta to
matter
the
of
all-star
fact.
game confirmed by
No,
Neil
man.
Rule.
Like, hey,
Stand on it, Neil.
no. Hey, you do it, KG. KG, say it. Say Kenta Maeda's back.
He's not.
Clearly.
No,
We've had a couple good outings.
not even close.
We've had a couple good outings.
We have had some good outings, but
2
not
and
really.
2/3, 1 earned run in his last 2 and 2/3 innings.
What's that ERA again?
In this last
Through-
run?
through,
in this last run,
through 2 weeks of baseball?
3.33. 3.33 his last 2
I'm
innings.
talking about the
hey, 2 games,
totality.
man. 2 games and
I'm
you're
talking
back.
about the total ERA through 2 weeks of baseball.
2 games and you're back. That's how it works here. 2 games and you're back. So there it is. So
You
Kenta,
tried.
stay in the fight, big
Oh,
guy.
okay, yeah.
You're back.
Keep
This
that
city,
same
this
energy
city
for
believes
28.
in you.
Keep that same energy for 28.
Kenny Green believes in you.
No, I don't. He's not gonna be on the roster by the trade
Kenny
deadline.
Green believes in you. You and Javi. That's his parlay. All right. Let's talk about Buddy's Pizza, everybody. I know it's a little early for lunch, but it's not too early. And they invented Detroit-style pizza. They've been in the game since 1946. They have great partnerships in and around the Metro Detroit area, the Detroit Zoo, the Michigan Humane Society, etc. They're great partners in the community, and the bottom line is this. They make great pizza. That's how you've been in business since 1946. That's how you invent a pizza genre. That is Detroit-style pizza, and you can use a promo code 10meal. For lunch today. Boom, there it is. Go to buddiespizza.com. 22 locations, so there's one near you. Look at that. Look at that art, that pizza art sitting on the screen. Get it for lunch. Promo code 10meal. Buddy's Pizza, the original Detroit-style pizza. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
D-Mac is back, and he's here to talk to you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they are partnering with Woodward Sports. You know what that means. I'm going to be feeling good on opening day, after opening day, no matter what that I want to do with Mad Packs. Going to take your game to the next level. High-low is getting you from the low, delivering top-tier quality, unbeatable prices. Boom Shakalaka is a live resin-infused tarantula. This one's the bomb. Blizzard Packs THCA. Moonrocks that hit like a blizzard. Coming to select retailers in May of 2025. Stay tuned with Woodward Sports for all the latest updates. These things seriously are fire. Fire.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Subscribe, get your thoughts in there like Crazy Clown. Neil brings the rest of us down with his negativity. Because I read stats off a page.
Partially agree with that.
I read stats off a page.
Yeah, it's the tone in which you read them, though.
Oh, so
I keep trying to tell you
Oh,
that.
okay. So you take it the way you want to. That's
No,
pretty convenient.
no, it's the way you're
That's
saying
a pretty
it.
convenient way to live.
It's the way you're saying it.
No, that's a great way to live.
I bet.
It is. Woodward Sports chat thread. Dirty Dr. D, can we trade Kenta for Lentz's top pitcher? We'll talk to him about that.
Good.
It's a good trade if you ask me.
Fast track.
Sauce Tin. Kenta has had a great season for his standards. Thank you, Sauce Tin. Real cream of wheat. Kent is an elite locker room guy. You don't just cut players like him. See?
Can't even speak English.
Sean Hart, you. At least when Kent.
They all got that translator earpiece. Dude,
Like
that's
his
what
English
you need
so
in those
broken.
locker rooms. I wish I would have had one of those translator iPhone earpieces, whatever.
Sean Hart, you. At least when Kent is out there, you aren't wasting good arms on 7+ run leads.
That is a fact.
Kiazi, Neil's sarcasm is top gold. No, it's not sarcasm.
Yeah, no,
it's tone,
sarcasm.
I was told. All right, Burn. Hinch uses Maeda like a weapon. If we're up a lot, save the bullpen. If we're getting beat up, use Kenta to shame the bats awake.
Facts.
Dante 151 in the super chat. Big games coming this Thursday and Friday for Traverse City Central varsity lacrosse against Midland on Thursday and Grand Blanc on Friday. Huge games. Absolutely huge games. KP, Neil, how about that bunt? Well, you can bunt to Milwaukee's defense. Who knows what the hell will happen?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, it works.
I don't remember them being like that.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a playoff team last year.
They're always a playoff team.
They 500 this year.
You know what? You know what the Brewers are to me? They're like the Boston University of college hockey. I always hear about the Brewers being good, but the only time I ever really watch them, was like when they're in the playoffs, and then they always lose.
Yeah.
Or then when we play them, we beat them. Like, they're one of those teams I don't get it.
Hey.
They always stink when I see them.
Yeah.
But they're in the playoffs every year. It's with nothing, with nobody.
Yeah.
So, hey, man, that's what it is. DMAC Skubal last night was magnificent.
Dirty.
He's the best pitcher on the planet, and I'll tell you this, it ain't close.
He just went out and said, "Oh, you guys are questioning whether I'm the Triple Crown guy. Remember what I did last year? Oh,
Yeah.
Here you go." And I think it's just one of those things, as we're talking about anything else, getting into the season. Yeah, and he wasn't Tarek Skubal the first few starts of the season. He looked a little better maybe the last outing, but this was him. What do we know about him? He's going to take this start, and he's just going to go with it, right? He's going to go with it. We were waiting for this, right? I think did it come out in left field? Was it unexpected or whatever? No, we were waiting for this because this guy is that good. And I think he just put the rest of the league on display that, if there was something, I guess, at the beginning of the season, a little bit off, he figured it out. And you know what the big thing is too, and this is one thing, right? He's pitching last year he bought a Rolex for Jake Rogers, who caught his games, and what a great gesture. But Dingler's in there now, so, and that's having a rookie catcher and having different things like that. That shows the maturity and all these things, because when you don't miss a beat. So I mean, there's a couple of intricacies to this, but he has Tarek Skubal. We knew how great he was, but now he's just stepped up to even more of that leadership role. And you mentioned JV and Scherzer and stuff. When they were the heads of our staff, you knew every time that they went out to the mound, it was just had this different feeling of how much are we going to win by, or are they going to touch him tonight? And that's what I feel with Tarek Skubal. So.
And his value, it goes back to what I talked about before with him. If you have him, your team is good. Period, end of story. You're good because you're going to win once every 5 days. Like that's just the way that it breaks out. He's the best pitcher in baseball. He's the most dominant pitcher in baseball, and he's the most important Tiger. Yeah. And I know people will say, how can it really be a pitcher if they don't play 4 out of every 5 games? Because you know what it represents when he's on the mound. The Brewers were powerless. The entire stadium knew it. You listen to the game on TV, and I was listening on the radio when I was driving back from a function last night. They knew. The crowd knew. You weren't touching him yesterday.
Yeah.
That game was over. It was over. It was over in the first inning.
Let me ask you this, Neil. Don't you remember that feeling sitting in either Tiger Stadium or sitting in Comerica Park as the Tigers when other teams had those studs on the mound? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like I remember having that feeling. Right, whereas now you have that ability, and look at he's the leader of this staff and this pitching staff, right? As we were told, as you like to say, we were told, is one of the best starting 5 in the league, and you get that performance, and what I like too is I think they feed off each other, Like, so what kind of performance is Flaherty going to have today? You know, to come out after Scooble, because this is a type. You look at the way they interact, right? And you look at the way, you know, who was it with the like Mize and Scooble in the dugout? You know, like watching the relief pitchers, or like these guys are invested in each other. Usually, you see like other starting pitchers, you won't even see them on the bench or whatever. But all these guys are together, Job and Mize and stuff. So this is definitely like a crew. So they feed off each other.
They've all been together for the whole thing. They've been to the minors and through everything together.
That's what you forget, Spenny, and people don't realize.
Right.
Look at under the surface, right? Look at under the water, the minors, how much time these guys have spent together in camps, on the road, not making any money, just grinding for the love of the game and just trying to get to the next level. And now they're here. So the conversations you have is like, you know, we got here, but now we push each other and lean on each other to make it even better.
Woodward Sports chat thread, WeezyD313.
Shout out.
Scooble, please don't be a hoe like Scherzer and JV. Fire Scott Boras. All I got to do is think about it, and the chat comes in and gives me the transition, because that's what I want to talk about. Because
knew where it was going.
It wasn't this. Like what I just talked about, it wasn't that. That wasn't the narrative on social media, and it's growing. And again, guys, like,
It's not
I
on
love,
Scooble.
What's that?
It's not on Scooble.
No, 100%
not.
no.
Get your bag, dude.
It's
You
not.
don't do this for fun. You don't do this for free.
Yeah, this isn't
Stop
a
being
hobby.
a hoe. Yeah, he's getting what he deserves. He's the best pitcher on the planet. He deserves to get paid like the best pitcher on the planet. And if the Tigers refuse to do that, that's on them. Don't blame Scooble. That's fucking soft, dude.
Yeah.
100%.
I
I
don't
want
blame
to
Scherzer.
get into that.
I don't blame Scherzer at all.
No, like, what is hard to understand about Scherzer? Tigers go 6 at 150. Nationals go 7 at 210.
Yep.
Which one are you taking?
Yeah.
7 at
I know which one
210.
I'm taking.
And I still got to where I needed to go. Got a World Series, all that.
And then the Tigers put out a press release about a contract that somebody didn't sign. And that's not the first time they've done it.
And they
It's
did
not.
it again this year.
It's not the first
not.
time they've done it.
not.
So there you go. We got to chat. We got to chat about it, man, because that's the narrative. It's not he's the best pitcher in baseball. Like he's probably going to win the Cy Young again, which it's trending that way.
Yeah, so far so good.
But that's not what people want to talk about. I've kind of had a reversal on how I want the Tigers to handle this now. So I want to talk about it next.
Oh,
This
cool.
is going to be good.
Right, I'm interested to hear this.
It's going to be good. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be good. Tell them about Lady Jane's.
You betcha. At Lady Jane's, they take the chore out of getting a haircut. Their talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone. Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Mark White can get you into your dream home, and he can save you up to $5,000 doing it. Mark White's the best in the business. Visit him at markwhitesells.com or give him a call at 248-290-8242.
I met him yesterday at the game. That is a genuine dude right there.
Shout
you
out.
know what? And I made him jump. He has those hops,
got the
boys.
hops.
He has those hops.
It's real.
but what a great dude. Like, seriously, this is a guy that you can definitely root for. So telling you that the spring business, the housing market, reach out right now. It's hot. It's
a
hot,
good time
so
to get
he's
in,
been
'cause
busy
this
and stuff like that. But
is failing.
huge Detroit sports fan. What a great dude. Happy to have him on the network.
There you go, D-Mac's stamp of approval, and like I said, he'll save up to $5,000 your closing costs. So not only is Darren McCarty saying he's a great dude, he'll save you $5,000 tax season. I could use
Neil
that to
Rule
replace
saying he's
what
a
I
great
just
dude
lost.
too.
Right.
So
D-Mac
Mark
says he's a
White.
great dude. He's saving you money. Neil says he's a great dude.
Facts.
There's
That's
that
it.
Mark White, 248-290-8242.
All right, we're off and running here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty back in the fold. Good to have D-Mac back. KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge. All of you. We're talking Tigers and Thomas Perry in the chat. Sounds like we're going to have some juicy intel coming from Uncle Neil. Hell, I'm going to actually watch the screen for a few.
I
all
won't
right.
pay attention.
Yeah.
There's no intel or anything. It's just
Lay it on us.
What I think the philosophy is. And I welcome the questions in the chat because I think this is how, because contrary to what Crazy Clown says, I am one of the most invested Tiger fans that there is
Facts.
at this network.
That is facts.
With that being said, they are not going to do a contract during the season.
Yeah.
They're not. And I don't want them to. Like, I don't. At this point, here's how I'm approaching this if I'm the Tigers. With this season, they're clearly a contender, right?
Yeah,
Clearly
so
a
far,
contender.
yeah.
I say, why not in the American League? Why not? Like, can they beat the Dodgers? I wouldn't bet my tax, I wouldn't bet my tax
you should
bill
bet a lot
on
of
it.
things on that.
Yeah. No, but hey, whatever. If you can get in, anything can happen. Like, I would think that they have more of a shot than most if the pitching lines up right.
Got it.
So with that being said, too, I probably wouldn't do the contract if I were them right now. Why? Because I'm still safe right now. I don't have the obligation right now on the books. So I wouldn't do it if I were the business owner now either. And what does that cost me? Okay? You're basically paying an insurance premium. If you did it now, he would be cheaper than he would be at the end of the year if he wins another Cy Young. Fair?
Right.
That's fair, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
logic.
fair.
That's logic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Common sense.
So basically, that money, you're paying an insurance premium right now because that's what it is. Now, we're talking, I may be valuing him higher than most, but if Max Scherzer was $42 million a year last year, which is what he made, Verlander was 40-ish million, yeah, that's where my contract conversation starts. 10 at 40, $400 million. That's where I start.
He's going to make a quarterback contract.
Yes, that's where I would start. So if I'm the Tigers, I'm not doing it now. And we're going to play out the season because we're a World Series contender. I believe them to be that. We all do. If we ran a poll, it would probably be universal. So you're not doing it now. If they're not going to do it ever, which, Spenny, that's your sentiment. The people I talk to,
Yeah.
that's a lot of the people's sentiment I talk to. Social media tells me they don't believe it.
I don't believe they'll sign him, no.
Do you believe that the Tigers will pump out a $400 million contract for Scooble? Do you believe it?
I don't.
A lot of people
I've been
don't.
with Spinny. Yeah.
So a lot of people don't. Here's my angle on it now. If you're not going to do it, then you got to keep them all the way through. Because if you're a contender this year, with the construct of your team, you're going to be a contender next year.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you have Scooble, you're a contender. You can't trade him. You got to ride it out and take your swings for the World Series. And if you're not going to re-sign him, that's on you. You'll deal with the fallout from it. However, don't pull the rug out from under everybody. Like even through this year, which it won't happen, but into next year, you got to ride it and take your swing. Now things could change. The season could play out. Something could happen. Things could change by the trade deadline next year. But you can't move them. You can't, because this is your shot. And and if you're not going to do it, I'll have to accept the fact. Spenny will have to accept the fact. We'll all have to accept the fact that we're Guardians fans, or we're Rays fans, or we're Marlins fans. And we'll just have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, YOLO. And
Right.
you run them out there, and you do it again next year, but you can't pull the rug out from under us. You
So
can't.
you would be content with letting him walk for nothing.
I would not be content. I would never be content.
What Neil's saying is that, but he's also saying that you're vying for legitimate.
You're in it. Like, we're in it now.
American League Championship and whatever. And at the end of that, like I look around to this team and I'm trying to figure out, because I don't know what the answer is. And the question is, so does the development of the rest of the younger guys, the pitching staffs, we get what we get. Is this the real Mize, like Job? The young guys, the Dinglers. You got the Carpenters. Agree. Does their development, Torque and this core help him get a big or does that change Detroit's philosophy that they signed Scuba because they have such a good core and stuff like this, or the fact that the core gets better? Do they
can supplement without?
That's what I'm saying. And I think what I'm saying. And I think that for me, in thinking it out, is that not knowing either way is the most concerning part, right? Like, at least Spenny could say, like, his heart's content on, I don't think they're going to sign him, and right, so he can
I lean that
himself.
way too.
I lean. You know what? Like, Neil, you brought that up. That's the way it's playing out.
That's my
playing out. That's it. Because
like
the only other thing is, like, what do you say? You play it out this year, and then at the end of the season, it's the same position as it is now, right? So it's really not till next season when you're either going to trade him or re-sign him, where you know he's going to go to free agency or not.
And if I'm the Tigers, I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of, we're not going to do anything now, and we're going to let it play out, and it's basically an insurance premium that I have to pay. Because if I am going to sign you, it will cost me more.
Yeah.
Every day that goes
by.
every
day it's not signed. If you're a pitcher and you're Scott Boras, his agent, that number goes up $1 million each month.
And then I'll sit around and let guys like Vlad Guerrero get $500 million, or Juan Soto get $750 million,
right?
And that's the way it'll move.
Because Neil, if it comes down to it, I wasn't even going to count the Dodgers in, but do you not think that the Mets or the Yankees, somebody else will scoop him up and pay him $300 or $400 million like that?
100%. Dude, the Yankees would do it now.
You know that. I don't even think it's possible for the Tigers to sign Scooble early because of the nature of who his agent is, and just based on
you could. If you give them what they want, they would sign.
It would have to be a staggering number that they could not refuse.
I know, but KG, it's always going to be a staggering number.
True.
Like, that's the time and space we're in. And
if
people
you
have
come
to remember.
to them now with $40 million, they're going to be like, no. Even if it does start at $40 million, let's say they offer them 10 years at 45, they're turning that down because they know.
I think they would take that.
No, I think they would turn that down. You banking on this man getting another Cy Young again, which is very much possible. If that happens, what do you think the value is going to do? It's going to shoot up even more. Like, he has the potential to maybe get $50 million out of this thing.
I was just going to say, he could be the first. If they play out this contract 2 years, he could be
telling
the first $50 million.
If I'm Scott Boras, why would I sign now? Just based on what we're seeing and what he's done.
Because of this, and I heard this from somebody on the flagship this morning, so I give credit because that's how I roll. People got to remember too, the CBA runs out in 2027.
Ah, okay.
So I believe the math works out. He's a free agent for like a week or two before the CBA expires.
Really?
So I mean, you're talking about the unknown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a window. That's why there's a window that the Tigers could do this, and there's things they could point to. But that's geeky.
But is there
really,
a wall?
What's that?
But is there a wall?
I mean, there could be.
Yeah.
I think for $50
$50
million.
Is there sweat? There might be sweat dripping.
Yeah.
If you offered him 10 at 50, they might sign early. But if it's anything under 50, if I'm Scott Boras, hell no.
Dante in the super chat. I know it's early, but I looked on Takeathon just to see who would have the easiest strength of schedule in baseball and who has the hardest strength of schedule. Tigers have the easiest at 468 because of the division.
Central, yeah.
And the Rockies have the toughest at 552 because of the division. The Dodgers are in third place in the division.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
It is wild.
Padres are going insane right now. Padres haven't lost yet, have they?
No. Yeah, they're like 13. They were 13-3. They were losing last night when I shut it off.
What are the Dodgers?
9 and something.
9-7 or
They
something
got
like that.
routed by the Cubs in this series.
Dodgers? Didn't they win like 7 in a row?
Yeah, they was on fire to start.
Padres
Yeah.
are 14-3. Dodgers
No, so they did
are 12,
win last night.
Dodgers are 12-6.
Yeah. And then the Giants
And Giants are 12-4.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's always the Giants, man. How?
And the D-backs are 9-7.
Verlander for 1 year. No, it's like
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they got the D-backs in that division, too.
Yep.
Who got Corbin Burns. Like, it's wild.
It's crazy stuff.
Pete Smith, they're not going to sign a 30-year-old left-handed power pitcher. They're going to let him go, and we'll all suffer. Everyone I talk to, man, there's not 20%, 10% of the people think that the Tigers are going to get something done with this. And people need to, Ed, does Skubal have 10 years in him? See, Ed, we got to get past that line of thinking, too.
Yeah, it's not about
These
that.
contracts aren't done for that.
It's not about
For
that.
whatever reason, instead of 10 years at $400 million, really what you're doing is you're doing a 7-year $400 million deal. But for whatever reason, they don't compute that way. They got to stretch them out. So, that's what it's going to be for me. It's if you're not going to do it, then you got to keep them the whole time. You can't trade.
Yeah.
You can't. What else can you do? And if you're not doing it now because you're basically taking out an insurance premium against him getting hurt, I understand it. I get it. Like you are a business. You got to protect your end too. But if you guys don't do this, if they don't do this, man, then we're Guardian fans. We are.
Yeah. I'd be cool.
We are. And it's crazy for us because a decade ago, we were in the top 5 in payroll in baseball.
That's true. But if you can find a way to be a consistent contender with that philosophy, I'm not tripping as a fan.
And KG.
But that's what it's going to boil down to.
Remember, D-Mac, when we had the Scott Harris discussions, when he signed on here? And what did I say? I said they are overtly telling you we are taking a Rays Marlins approach to the game.
Look where Scott Harris came from.
And I said, D-Mac, I said, if you win, I'm cool with it. And it appears to be working because they are winning, so I'm cool with it. But at the same time, that will get you to a point. Can it get you over the hump?
Agreed.
Facts.
That's the question.
Agreed. And I think your philosophy is maybe spot on, Neil. I do think that's maybe their plan. You have somebody like a Jackson Jobe who could be an ace for you one day. Hopefully within the next 2 years he can develop. And we don't know what happened with free agency. Just because they don't sign Skubal don't mean that another good pitcher would be on the market that they would pay for a lot cheaper. So a lot can happen between now and then. But ultimately, I do think they are leaning into the youth because that is the cheaper option. That's the only way to keep your books down.
Chris, it's time for everyone to come to terms with the fact that once the Yankees blow it in the playoffs again, they will hire Chris Fetter and give Skubal the largest contract for a pitcher in baseball
And that's another
history.
thing, too. They have a Chris Fetter in the building that they feel like is a magician with anybody he lays his hands on. So that's another factor that you got to factor in as well. We have a Chris Fetter. They feel confident that they can develop any type of pitching that they need in-house. So I'm not mad at that either.
I don't think Chris Fetter leaves AJ Hinch. I don't know. He doesn't seem like a head coach or a guy that wants to be, a skipper to me. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I would try to get him if I'm anybody, but how often does that really happen?
Now, if you're the Tigers, that's somebody you should also lock down maybe now. Like, don't even let him go to the market. Don't even let him look for other jobs. Just secure his position as the Tigers pitching coach.
Who's more valuable to the Tigers, Tarek Skubal or Chris Fetter? Right?
You got to say Chris Fetter. Unfortunately, and I love Skubal, but you got to say Chris Fetter.
Yeah,
I would think
He's resurrected careers.
proof's in the
like,
pudding.
Pete Smith follows up. How many hot and ready pizzas do I have to eat to sign him? I'll do my part.
It's going to be a lot of pizzas, big dog. Hey, and it's not cheap no more. The hot and ready $7, bro. I don't
That's
know if you want to go
crazy.
down there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I still haven't had those crazy puffs. I heard they're really good, though.
I mean, have you ever had bagel bites?
Yeah, I love bagel bites.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Is it really?
I mean, I haven't had them, but I mean, I've seen them.
They look very similar.
It's like a pizza muffin, right?
yeah, pretty
a
much.
bagel bite.
Pretty much.
Who said that?
Pete Smith.
Hey, Pete, start eating. We'll tell you when to stop.
Yep.
You gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah, you'll
before
be
right.
you won't be with us any longer
That would be a funny, little meme to do, eating
would.
a hot and ready every
day till they sign Tarek Skubal with my money.
Yeah.
Send it to Chris Ilitch every week. Like,
I'm not
bro,
gonna do
I'm
it,
dying
so
here,
I
literally
can't do
dying.
it, but
Oh my gosh.
Gonna be like the super size me guy.
Yeah, honestly.
Trying to stroke out on pizzas. Like,
Ryan, I can't be a Guardians fan. No, I would agree because I always looked at the Guardians and said, could you imagine? We had this discussion before, I think. Could you imagine being a Guardians fan? Like Jalen Naylor. So Jalen Naylor, I have on my fantasy team this year. I never had him on my team, and I saw him with Cleveland, and he would nuke us from time to time, right?
Right.
He would hurt us, and I knew he was a good player. But now, I check in on him every day. That guy can rake, dude.
yeah.
He can rake. Can you imagine just letting him go?
I still think Seattle's worse. you could have had A-Rod, Griffey, and Ichiro in their primes. That wins you multiple World Series.
But the Guardians don't even hide it.
And King Felix.
And King Felix. Yeah.
Well, but the second they paid him, it was over.
Yeah.
With King Felix.
Well,
I remember
lost
that.
the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was on, though, goddamn, King Felix was nice.
I know what a good financial decision is, getting your Chevy from Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, because they're Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer, the nation's #1 EV dealer. If you're in the market for a new pickup truck like a Silverado Crew Cab, they got great lease deals for you. The Equinox front-wheel drive, great lease deals for you. You can check out the inventory on the QR code above my head right there. You can even start the buying or leasing process online. Yes, it is that easy. Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
You already know Loom Cannabis Company, but did you know they've got all the brands you love now for less with the unbeatable prices, a wider selection, and the best loyalty program? Loom is a premier destination for new and experienced shoppers alike. Experience Michigan's #1 recreational dispensary at one of their 38 locations. Use code Woodward30 for 30% off your entire order, online or in store. Go to www.loom.com today.
Keeping it pushing, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread, certainly in the chat as well. Thomas Perry, attaboy, Pete. You're a good team player.
Pete, don't give your life for this damn Tigers team. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Let's see. DNC ENT. So Neil and Sam, our team ride it out. Jamal and Scooble are walking in 2027. No, I didn't say that about Jamal. I'm talking about Scooble. And DNC ENT, I'm team ride it out because I think that's the move that they're making right now. I think that's what they're trying to do is they're basically going to pay an insurance premium.
Yeah. And 2 years still a lot of time. Like anything can happen. Scooble could get hurt again, God forbid.
That's what they're doing.
It's a lot that can happen in that time.
I'll tell you, DNC ENT, they're buying insurance against a dealer's ace.
Shout out Silent Mike.
Yeah,
Silent Mike just
Silent Mike.
He didn't say anything.
Didn't
You
say
didn't hear
anything.
him.
Right,
Yeah, I got some deuces.
I dapped him up. Didn't say a word to me. That guy's a gem, dude.
Nicholas Duncan, Job replacing Scooble next season. But that can't be. Not next season. You gotta let him ride the contract out then.
I feel you. I mean, but if you had the opportunity to maybe trade him for assets, would you do it?
Depends on where we're at.
Okay.
Because if you're with him, if you have Scooble,
it would suck.
You have a chance to win.
Yeah, it just would suck to just let him walk for nothing, though. I hear you. I do hear you. I'm not.
Are they a threat to make the World Series this year?
Yes.
So it stands to reason they would probably be a threat to make the World Series next year.
Yes.
Then
with
I'm not trading
maybe
them.
an improved batting order. Yes, I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
That's the thing, Neil. I think that really, people sit back is guys, this is a 2-year program if the Tigers want it to be because they have the control on it.
Right.
Right? So, I mean, it's really what's the difference between now and a year from now, other than, this team is legit. That's why I wonder which way do you go, Neil, if this team is better and they are, they get to the World Series or the World Series, going into next year, they keep improving. I know you said you think they're going to leave, but does this make it more like they would want to sign him or not want to sign him?
We all think that not signing him is the camp they're in, right? I don't think there's going to be anything to like. What new data are you going to get?
But the way you bring up the argument is like what's the rush for the Tigers? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's from a business standpoint, why
if it were me and I were going to sign him, I would do it now.
Right, because you'll get them cheaper. Like,
theoretically,
you know what the path is, so that's why the question mark's in it. But with the way that the Tigers have done things under Chris Ilitch, if you're going to pay any money, isn't it at the last, unless you're young,
right?
Cole Keith, which are Jackson Job. Somebody in the comments said they're more likely to sign Job to a 10-year contract. Yeah, like they did Cole Keith.
But that's a Scott Harris guy, so it makes sense.
Okay.
And maybe that's what they're banking on. They do have a lot of pitchers in their farm system as well. The farm system is improved. Maybe they feel like they can just do it the organic route through this thing. But I don't know, man. I hate even having this convo. I do. I can't.
It's the story.
I know,
and I don't make
it
that way.
I know.
Guys, look, that's my favorite thing. Like when we put a clip out on social media and somebody's like, Neil, you're engagement farming, or nobody says this. I don't make this shit up.
No, it's real.
Like, it's real. You guys do the show. You see the chat. Guys read social media. That's the story.
It's the biggest topic of Tiger baseball. Like,
which is crazy because they got the best record in the American League, but that's the way this game works, everybody.
So can we play hindsight? Let's say we signed him. News just came in. You signed him for whatever. Is that just everybody like, oh, now, like, what does it change? Like, just other than, okay, like, this is a trajectory that we're on?
It would show me a philosophy change in terms of the front office.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, is that why are you expecting a philosophy change right now? It hasn't happened, right? The philosophy's been the same. Hey, guys, we tried to sign him. Look, we offered him this, and they didn't sign this. Like you said earlier, they've done it a few times. Right. That's their play.
And with the Bregman thing, I don't blame him for Bregman because he waited literally until the last possible second. He didn't want to be here, and I'm cool with that. But for somebody, it does seem like Scooble maybe wants to be a part of this. And maybe, that letter he wrote to the fans was a little bit of posturing, a little bit of negotiation tactics. But he seems like he wants to be here at this point. He just wants the number that he wants, which he deserves.
He pitches like he wants to be here and be the best every time.
Right.
Like, and he
either that or he's
just
really, really good at it and doesn't care, which I think it's I don't think it's that, Woodward Sports Chat Thread, Super Bowl Cartier. Keep Scooble, bro. There is no salary cap in baseball.
I know, that's the frustrating part.
That's
That's been my point about this the whole time.
That's why we're sitting on this, right? It's not like because if there was a salary cap, you'd have to pay him.
But you got to look at
right because you'd have to build your team differently, and you need that one ace and whatever to be a non-negotiable, like your quarterback, right? Like, am I wrong? If this was a salary cap league. That's your quarterback. That's your Goff. That's your money, right?
Right.
So the fact that it's not is even more perplexing.
But besides the fact that you got a cheap owner, you also have to look at who Scott Harris is. That is his philosophy. Look where he came from, the Giants.
So you think
the Giants have used that model too for a lot of years.
Yeah, but you think it's more Scott Harris than it is
at this point? It could be at this point.
It's a great question, man. But I think that this is how Harris came up, and it's how he operates, and that's why, and that's why he's here. And D-Mac, I always said it too. Is it cheaper to write is it cheaper to write Scott Harris a check, one big check as far as a GM goes, or to write 8 big checks to bring free agents in?
One big check
to a GM, and I'm not even talking like a big check. I'm talking like GM big check.
So this is more like Scott Harris is an accountant. If we're taking the analogy of tax day, where he's going through the books and
right,
and some guys are more creative than others, I guess. But this is more sticking to what the owner wanted. He wants more of a.
That's why he sought him out. Yeah,
is this more of an audit to your lineup than it is like what the Dodgers do and the Yankees do and stuff like that? I don't know. It's just, I think it gets so. You know what the analogy is, right? Look at this. See the frustration when you are good and you think you can win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keep that energy when you talk about the
It sucks being in the middle.
I don't mind this energy because we all care, and it's just like because it's what's the philosophy, what's the direction, and right now it's saving money, and the fact is Because everybody's scared because Scott Boras is his agent, and like he's gonna get paid, and
He's gonna get an insane deal.
You lay it out, he's gonna be a $50 million guy by somebody else.
Yeah, he's gonna get an insane deal. He's gonna get paid, and I hope it's the Tigers that pay him. But I can't see it happening because what he's gonna command on the market, what Scott Boras is gonna make sure he gets on the market, even for his age and where he's gonna be at the end of his Tigers contract. I can't see the Tigers doing that.
No, and people got to remember too. This isn't a waiver wire in your fantasy league. The Yankees are going to be involved.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The Mets are going to be involved.
The Dodgers are going to
The
be
Dodgers
involved.
are going to be involved. Like limitless.
Yeah.
Limitless pockets.
Damn near the whole MLB is going to be in on Scooble. Like
Right.
he's the best pitcher on God's green earth right now.
So it is. All right, let's do this. And people want to talk about the Pistons. So then let's do it. Why not? I got a couple questions for D-Mac. I want to go inside the psychology of a series, of a professional sports series in the playoffs. I want to get in there and talk about it. Planet Fitness, everyone, live at the Planet Fitness Studios. You guys know what it is. You guys know I was there. I was getting the work in because that's the way it operates. Shout out Maple Road Planet Fitness. My guy Dom over there, he's the man. Love rapping with him when I walk in there. But again, it's the best gym in the gym game. I'll never be a member at another gym. I don't need a rock wall. I don't need a basketball court. I just need a gym where I can get on the equipment I need to get on, don't have to wait around, wondering if it's all full. And then I need like a clean locker room facility to go take a shower and go on about my day. Planet Fitness gives you all that for just $24.99 a month. Somebody in this chat right now is paying $80 a month for a gym.
What?
At a minimum. Somebody's paying more. They just are. Place across the street from Planet Fitness over on Maple Road just went out of business. It was only $130 a month to be a member there. What are we talking about here, guys? $24.99 a month. Go to planetfitness.com. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you will. We got Tully, everybody.
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. And you can use the promo code Woodward1000. Scan the QR code on the screen right above my head. Use the promo code Woodward1000 when you make your first deposit. Then that way, when you make your first bet, all the way up to $1,000, if you lose, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet. Almost like a do-over. So you could even attack it this way. Say you like the Pistons. They're about 3-1 against the Knicks. Put up to $1,000 on them. Win $3,000 if they win. If they lose, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet. So there you go, everyone. If you got that big swing you've been waiting to take, you can do it. It's Caesars, man. They're one of the OGs in the sports betting game. The app is clean. It's easy to navigate. There's no glitching, none of that stuff. It's Caesars. Go to Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. All right. Hour number 2, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Subscribe, jump into there. If you can't make the show live, we got you covered. If you want to podcast it, you can. Go to iTunes, Big D Energy, click subscribe. There you go. Happy to everyone. Happy afternoon to everybody on Twitch here on Tax Day. Pistons, Knicks, playoffs. They start Thursday. It's kind of weird in that, and I know why they're doing it. There's only Thursday is known at this point. And my guess would be the reason is if you're the NBA, you got to see what happens with Golden State. Mm-hmm. You got to have them in.
They winning, by the way.
You got to have them in so you can space out your Lakers, Golden State as long as you can. You guys know how this works, right?
Yeah.
See what happens with Chicago, all of that. So that's the story. And D-Mac, I wanted to get into the psychology of a playoff series. You're playing a best of 7. You're playing the same guys all the time. What's it like? How does game 1 work? Where do you look to get an edge? You know what I'm trying to say here. Give me all of it.
Like
D-Mac.
it's matchups, right? So again, you're gonna go break down tape of the year and stuff like this, but the way that it worked in our locker room, and I'm sure it's the same, is that who do you have to outplay, right? Who do you have to outplay? And you're gonna, it's nothing more than just focusing in on if you're like, and now it's about discipline, right? It's about not taking any chances to affect your team. We were talking before the show about how Isaiah Stewart has to be a factor, but he has to finish each game. He has to stay in each game to be that factor, right? It's that intimidation factor. We're all talking about how, he's in the heads of the Knicks locker room. They go through that, right? Like, this is the one thing, the things you've done throughout the year, being 3-1, winning in Madison Square Garden. This all plays to it, to some of the experience. So, to me, you're going to lean on what they're going to go around is the guys that have the playoff experience, the Beasleys, the Hardaway Juniors, the Tobias Harrises, stuff like that. They're gonna lean on them to say what's it like, and there's gonna be some nerves. Hey, how would you like your first playoff game to be in Madison Square Gardens? This is perfect for this team, right? In my opinion, because they're ready to face all the smoke. Now, the one thing which is great is the way that they play, and they play hard. They play that sort of what you need style in the playoffs. They're not gonna quit. So right now, it's like, who are you gonna outplay? And I'm not gonna allow that guy on the other team to be the reason that they win, right?
So you own that.
So you own that. So for me, it'd be a D-man, right? Who am I gonna? Every chance I get, I'm gonna hit everybody, but I gotta focus in on this guy, and I'm gonna take him sort of out of the series. And it's not game 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5, 6, 7 that it's relentless. So it's exciting for a lot of the young guys and for a lot of this team because it's that next step to the journey. But I think that they're prepared, and it's the way that they play. They play a more playoff style, right? Their regular season, the way that they defend and stuff like that, that's what they're going to look to. So that's – I'm confident in the effort. Now, it might be a little bit early, like what Bickerstaff's going to preach is, like, don't get caught in the emotion early. Right? Like, we get in foul trouble early or stuff like that. That's because youth and the emotion. But I think that this team's proven with their veteran leadership that they can overcome a lot of things. So we've proven we can win in Madison Square Garden. So that's what they're going to try to do. And what you're focusing on is split in the first 2 games.
In the Woodward Sports chat thread, yes, I did misspeak. Saturday, game 1. They'll be 6 o'clock on ESPN. I saw some of the people asking. The rest of the game days have not been announced as of yet. And again, the reason is they got to see how this play-in stuff shakes out, and the Golden State Warriors and all of that. And because they got to line up all the TV things. Even Sunday's game times are not announced yet. They know Sunday's games, but they don't know Sunday's game times. So, just from that standpoint, there are a lot of moving parts with the NBA. I know a lot of people have been talking as well when the games swing back to LCA. I would very much doubt that the NBA is going to have New York's team playing the night of the NFL draft, the first round of the NFL draft. They're not going to do that. There's no way that
When
happens.
is that, Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
So it'll be a Wednesday.
That would be my guess
Wednesday,
for sure.
Friday or whatever.
That would be my guess for sure. So, we'll see how the schedule all shakes out. But D-Mac, you mentioned it, right? Like a series. It's not for game 1, game 2. And this is unfair to ask of you, but you're the closest comp I have. So I'm going to put you in the spot.
All right, come on.
Isaiah Stewart, that's the name. That's the name everybody's talking about, right? We saw the Knicks, in that last game at LCA, they tried to, quote, deliver some messages. They tried to –
How'd that work?
Well, they tried to I don't want to say, did they try to physically intimidate them, etc.? But I guess the question I'm driving at to
They
you,
were acting
D-Mac,
tough.
they were tough guying it out there,
Yeah.
right? They were acting tough. Isaiah Stewart, a guy, that can run hot at times. There is no doubt. Take us through the mind of Isaiah Stewart as best you can.
Well, it's different. It's different regular season. I can go out there and get suspended and whatever like this and set the tone. That was to set the tone for the playoffs. That we aren't going to be pushed around. Now you got to be smarter and not cost your team. And in those certain moments, right, like that, you're not going to see somebody do something that's going to cost them. What's the word? What are the Knicks going to do? So in the same way, the Knicks game plan is how do we get Isaiah Stewart off his game and get him into foul trouble, get him kicked out or whatever, anything like that. So that'll be a focal point, right? Because if he can play under the rim the way he's done all year and stay out of foul trouble and be that effective force, right? I mean, I see in the chat, Pistons in 6. Yeah, that the series to me is Duren and Isaiah Stewart and how do they defend and how do they stay in the game? You know that one game the refs, and it's probably game 1, the refs in New York and stuff like this. The refs are gonna be a big factor in one game, right? The talent. We talk about Brunson, he's going to go off one game, but Beasley's going to go off one game. So it's all the in between. You can sort of see how it's going to play out, but at the end of the day, that's why you do that stuff at the end of the regular season. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to take the chance to get suspended or stick it up for my guys.
And you don't care about it for a second.
Not a second. But in the playoffs, not a chance. Cuz I got to think about, right? What do I always say? The guy next to you, it's more important to you than yourself. And you being out there, and he's got to realize that him being out there. I said to you, do you think me being on the bench and playing 6 minutes is a lot more effective than me sitting in the stands? Hell yeah. Because I can chirp, and, the anticipation of death is always around the corner. So we know what a factor he is and how he's been the rim protector, but he is, for lack of a better term, this team's Ben Wallace. And he is that.
He is because he's the rim protector.
Well, but also too the physicality, and he's the dog, and it comes through him, and they all play hard and he's got all the soldiers around him that play as hard as him, and they go by that, and it's great to see. So now let's look at the discipline and look how this team reacts to not getting the call. We've seen it all year. Hey, who knows now that Detroit might be getting some respect from this league that Cade finally gets some calls. Don't expect it, but maybe.
That is true. D-Mac, what's it going to take? Because, look, the sports books, the line makers don't give Detroit much of a shot. The Knicks, I think, what'd you say they were?
Plus 360 for the Pistons.
So the Knicks are what, about minus 430?
Yeah, something like that.
So, I mean, they're huge favorites in this series. And, D-Mac, I think you kind of drilled it, too, and we've forgotten about this. There are a lot of things that we're going to relearn as Detroit sports fans about the playoffs for the NBA. You pretty much have to get one of those first 2 games on the road. Right? I mean,
we've seen it.
You pretty much have to.
Well, I mean, it'd be in the road team. That's the analogy. You make your life so much easier. You got to take back that home court advantage.
Adis 411 in the chat. JB Harris, Tim Hardaway Jr., Beasley, Dennis Schroeder got to lead the way. They've been in the playoffs before. What about that, D-Mac? Is that real? Is playoff experience real?
Yeah.
Was it real in your career?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, just because situations. It's like anything else. If you've been there before, everybody who drives a car.
What was it like the first time in the playoffs? Because, again, I'm comparing you to Isaiah Stewart.
What you got to do is you got to learn how, because it's so exciting, right? So it's everything you wanted in the crowd and everybody's amped up. It's just you got to learn how to check your emotions. And stuff like that.
So you got to be a businessman.
You can't get too high and you can't get too low. That's the teams that shoot themselves out. Is their foot is that. What do you say about playoffs? Right? You got to stay healthy, right? You got to get in basketball. You got to make that timely shot, right? But you can't have guys go down. You got to stick to the rotation and stick to what's worked with you. And what do we see more than not? Teams that are unsuccessful, either they have that guy that doesn't perform, right, in the right spot, or the team that doesn't play the way that they played during the regular season. And some teams play against other. Why do you see some teams, and you see it in hockey too, and you'll see it as the playoffs come up, is that one team just has, sweep 4 or 5 games, not even seem like they're in it. That's just preparation, and that's sort of having your finger on it. That's what we went through against Colorado before we eventually beat them. Like, there are teams like that. I don't see the Knicks. I hear all this prognostication, but the fact is that you have a young team, right, that doesn't know any better, that's already won. Like, they're just going, dude, we're 3-1 against these guys. They don't intimidate us. They're not the ones, it's the Milwaukee's that has your number more than anything else. I think they're going out to make a statement, and the statement is like, the best part is, I hope the Knicks try to play bully ball. You ain't going to win with us because we ain't going to be intimidated.
Right. They are a unique matchup in the NBA.
And this is where that the youth and the inexperience, along with the veteran, because it's the type of veterans they have, in the Schroeder and the Hardaway and the Tobias Harris and the Malik Beasley. These are pros, right? These are true. Would you not say that these are professional basketball players?
Oh yeah, right.
So they have that veteran leadership, and I think you've seen a lot of it down the stretch. There's sort of a calm, when some of the younger guys like Stuart Thompson and Holland Jr. and stuff like this, that they get excitable. You see the vets sort of, right, check them to, like, save your energy, and it's knowing when to use your energy, when to spend your energy, because it's a long series. 7-game series, how many minutes, of basketball is that? Times 48, that's a lot of basketball. Times 60-minute hockey, and plus, is there going to be overtime? Are these teams matched up to be overtime? I would think at least one game.
Is it going to be all pressure cooker basketball? Is there a blowout in there?
Right, exactly. Right. Or does one, what does one happen is, and that's to be able to take each game in its own vacuum, right? Because you might get blown out a game, but how can that not affect you? That's not the whole, right? But that's why you got to win 4 games.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we got some special guests in the studio. I'm excited to have this conversation for sure. Dr. Pierce will be joining us. Also in the discussion, we'll pick back up the Pistons stuff. We got some Lions draft stuff, so it's all going to be out there. It's all going to be represented. Let's talk about merch, everybody. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Get geared up for the NFL draft, right? Still time to get you that F them pick shirt. If you're not a fan of the draft picks, you want to make some trades, you can get that shirt for you. You want to boo the kids, you can still do that as well. Some of you are like that. Get ready for Pistons basketball in the playoffs as well. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Love Woodward Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce here every Tuesday during Big D Energy. You'll be here in about 15 minutes. And Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that I trusted for 4 Stanley Cups. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
All right, keeping it pushing. As D-Mac said, about 10 minutes or so away from Dr. Pierce and some special guests here in studio. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty back at it, talking Pistons and Knicks. And I did want to get into the series in and of itself. And
you don't feel like they got a chance, do you?
I'm not going to bet my house on them to win.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
where are you laying at, though? What's the percentage?
It's just like, I don't think that we fully grasp what's going to happen from an officiating perspective on Saturday and Monday or Tuesday or whatever, the other game 2 is. I don't think that we understand that.
Yeah.
I don't think that we understand the level that this game goes to in the playoffs. I don't think we grasp it, and why would we?
Right.
It's been a long time, right?
It's been a while.
It has been a while. And like, look, do I believe in this team? Obviously, I believe in this team.
Yeah,
100%. Tried to tell you what I saw even during the preseason.
Yeah.
But with that being said, there's levels to this. There is, and I know that we say like the Knicks are mentally soft and stuff like that, and they've shown signs of that. No question about it. But at the same time, too, D-Mac, you got to look at what they're dealing with. The New York Knicks in New York. The questions are starting to get asked. What are you going to do? How are you going to deliver? They got a lot on the line too. Like, they're not just going to roll over and stuff like that. And D-Mac, again, like, you look at the depth of their roster, the guys that they can bring in off the bench. And I'm going to ask Spenny the question in a minute. But they got a lot riding on this too, D-Mac.
No, look at Vegas.
Right. That kind of tells you all you need to know, right?
That tells you everything you need to know. So, I mean, like, what did you say? They're plus what?
The Pistons are plus 380. I think they're like minus 450.
Doesn't that tell you everything you need to know? What Vegas looks at them to whatever, and we know what we have as far as our team. And, we have the best player in the series. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Cade Cunningham? Right? So the little bit – and you know what? Don't think that that's not bulletin board material for the Pistons, the fact that they're this huge underdog, but how can they not be? Right? They went for 14 wins last year, so still, right, they're still not, like, even though we've seen them all year and we know what they're about nationally, people recognize. But again, this is New York Knicks, right? They're supposed to win. All the pressure's on them.
I will say this, too. What will get on my nerves after about a quarter and a half of game 1, that organ they play at Madison Square Garden with that doo-doo, doo-doo, doo, and they do, oh my God, dude, it gets on my nerves. Spenny, what scares you about the Knicks?
What scares me about the Knicks, I don't know if there's much that scares me about the Knicks when I look in this matchup. It's more about what the Pistons are going to do to contain them. Like, they obviously have 2 dynamic players. The Pistons have the best player in this series, but then the Knicks probably have the second and third best players in the series. So
Facts.
You can't. KG said it before the show. One of them is going to go off. One of them is going to get theirs. You can't allow them both to go off in the same game, and then you're going to have a hard time keeping up with that. Although the Knicks haven't been as good defensively as they were supposed to be in the offseason, their trio of wing defenders is very good, and that comes obviously OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges. Cade Cunningham is going to have bodies that are going to be thrown at him all over the game. You got a couple of guys that can rotate in and off of him, a lot of fouls that they're going to be able to give on him. He is going to have to make tough contested shots, and I expect him to. I expect him to step up. I'm like oddly confident about this series. I really am. I truly think the Pistons are going to win this series, and it's going to be fun to watch. I expect Cade Cunningham to give you 2 games because he's that good, because he is the best player
I'm with you
in
on
this
that.
series.
Yeah.
Then you got to get 2 games out of the rest.
Yeah.
So whether it's Malik Beasley, Asar Thompson, Ron Holland, Jalen Duren, Tim Hardaway Jr., Tobias Harris, whoever it is, you need to get 2 games out of those guys, and I truly believe they can do that.
Does the fact, Neil, the fact of what Cade and this team has already done against this team in Madison Square Gardens mean anything to you?
It's not everything, but it does tell a
No,
story.
the fact
No,
that they've
that-
executed and they've been able to hit last-second shots or defend or play hard. They know the atmosphere. Like there's something to have gone there already and got, okay,
Right.
I got this. I know.
But that's something I bought in about them all season long.
No,
Like they can go on the road and be down, and it's pretty much
They're a
you
good team
expect
on the
them
road.
to come back.
Yeah.
I get that, but again, it's also too until you do it in that barn or in that place, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the fact. And maybe Madison Square Garden, because Madison Square Garden holds that
The cachet. Yeah.
that cachet of what it does. That's not even to me, that's not even an argument point, because that was what this season was about. Get comfortable in there, because you're going to come back and get comfortable making them uncomfortable. I mean, I'd love to hear what New York radio is saying.
They think it's New York in 5. That's what I keep hearing the sentiment.
Oh, really? So they're
Which is what Vegas essentially is saying.
they're living it up too. That's awesome, and I think that's a perfect position for our team to be in, going there, because they do. I'm with Spenny. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think that this is like the reason. Like, it's probably gonna go. I got them in 6,
I got 'em in
right?
6
But the
too.
reason it could be 5, but the refs cost them a game.
Right.
Like, I don't think, from what I've seen, is that when the push comes to shove, right, that we're gonna shove a little harder.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Harold, here's my question, and I'm with you, Spenny. Like, it's not the Knicks, what the Knicks have. They are a little deeper. I think that's fair to say. On paper.
On paper,
they're a little deeper.
You're going to need Ron Holland to step up. And that's something that I look at, too. Like, I know D-Mac alluded to it as well. Like, playing in the playoff, it's completely different. Like, people who watch basketball know.
Ball knowers know.
It is completely different. But the Pistons don't have to turn it on, because they play at a level of that all year. They got to turn it up. Teams have to turn it up. Pistons just got to turn it up a little bit. And I believe with the influx of veteran talent and coaching that they brought in the offseason, guys who have been there and done it before in the playoffs. When you look at J.B. Bickerstaff, Tobias Harris, Malik Beasley, and Tim Hardaway Jr., they know what it takes. They know what level they have to be at. They're going to tell these young guys, hey, you're walking into Madison Square Garden. This isn't walking into Madison Square Garden on a
Tuesday.
You know, you're going in there.
Why does
prime
Tuesday
time.
always catch such slander all the time?
It's weak. But prime time, ESPN, Saturday night, playoff game, you're going to go in there. You're going to feel every single member of that sold-out Madison Square Garden crowd. You're going to have to be there to sign. I know that motherfucker Cade steps up for that shit. I know he lives for that. So I expect him, where he goes and performs every time he plays there in Madison Square Garden, to have a hell of a performance in Game 1. I think the Pistons win Game 1.
Yeah.
Here's my concern, KG.
Yeah, go ahead.
Harold Williams says it perfectly. The Pistons will struggle in the half court in the playoffs.
And I was just going to bring
that's where it changes.
No, because
the transition opportunities aren't as numerous. You got to earn your buckets in the playoffs.
I'm not as worried about their half-court offense as other people seem to be. I know, like, the Asar Thompson and Ron Holland, is their offense going to go down because of the lack of fast break opportunities? Absolutely. But you're not playing them in the playoffs for their offense anyways. I think when you look at Tobias Harris and Malik Beasley, if they're hitting shots, the Pistons' half-court offense is going to be fine, because Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren have that pick and roll down to a science this year. And when you have standalone shooters like Malik Beasley and Tobias Harris on the outside, that is a good exit valve for them. Tobias Harris, if it all comes down and breaks down, he can get his shot one-on-one in a playoff atmosphere. He's done it before. And I think Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley are going to be the keys to this series. If they're hitting shots, the Pistons win. If they're not, they won't.
I'll tell you the move that was made for now that's going to, and I think that's going to be integral, is Schrader.
True, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, that move for him, being the veteran and this type of right to hit that, For some reason, I'm looking for big things out of him. But look at your veterans that you have. I keep going back to it. Like your core of the veterans, like they're solid basketball dudes.
Yeah.
That have been there before in all different situations with all great talent and whatever. So that only helps because what do I see from the young guys? Tons of coachability.
Yeah.
Tons of coachability. So they'll listen. But I think you're right, Spenny. You said turn it up, not turn it on. Some teams will be looking to turn it on, right? Off and on. We play the same way. We just got to play a little tighter, not go through those little lapses when we get those spreads of like 8-10 and letting teams back in the game. But that's, like you said, that playoff basketball, playoff hockey, it gets tighter.
Yeah, and Dennis Schroeder will be a good player in this series. Him coming off the bench, his playmaking ability is perfect for the type of half-court offense they're going to have. So, no, I agree with that. But, the half-court thing kind of leads me into my biggest concern. Somebody besides Cade has to come with Cade, if that makes sense, because Cade's play style is suited for situations like this. It's suited for the playoffs. He plays at a slower pace. He can get his buckets anywhere on the floor. So I'm not
He can get other people buckets.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but that's not what I'm necessarily worried about. You can't have a bad shooting night from a Malik Beasley or a Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
Jalen Duren can't go out there and just be a turnstile in the paint and just not box people out and not go out there and dominate the boards. That's what I'm worried about. Who is going to go along with Cade from game to game?
And I'm not saying this is going to be a walk in the park by any means. The Knicks are a good team, and they have a good rotation of defenders they could throw at Cade Cunningham. But I can say this wholeheartedly that I know more and invested more into Knicks basketball than anybody in this chat.
Right. That's a
fact.
So, I've seen it before. I know how they play. I watch a lot of their games. So I know how the Pistons could beat them. They've proven how they could beat them all year. Now, can you do it in a 7-game series? We'll see. But this is the matchup I wanted in the playoffs the most for the Pistons. This is the matchup that they have the best chance in actually winning and going on to a series. So this is going to be a long series for the Knicks.
Hey, Spinny, real quick, since you watch a lot of Knicks basketball, do you play into the narrative that, Tibbs runs his guys out,
Yes.
especially this year?
I'll answer that
Absolutely.
question for him.
Is that in effect this year, though? Because
Yes.
I know that's his narrative,
Well,
but
it's in
this
effect
year,
every
does it
year.
apply?
And it's happening. You saw it kind of happening throughout the season more than all at the end because Brunson has been
Everybody's
dealing with
shaking
injuries.
up at the end of the
OG's
year,
been dealing with injuries. Mikal Bridges, he's still playing, but that dude's a fucking
82 games.
Yeah, you can't even. He's played 556 straight games.
Crazy.
He never misses any games. But it's definitely a factor. He plays them hard minutes and long minutes all season.
I think that, Spenny, we said it when we were talking before, nobody watches Knicks basketball more that I know than you. So for you to come out and thank you, counselor, matchups, when you break down the matchups, does it not, and I know that Vegas and everybody else has it going the one way, but does it not favor the matchups because of how we've played this year? And this is one of the this is a team we wanted to play. They didn't want to play us. I don't think anybody wants to play us, but the matchups that we have.
This is by far the best matchup for the Pistons.
100%. 100%. I think they know that, and this was a driving force and a driving part of the conversation for the way that they played the end of the season.
Dante 151 in the super chat. Breaking news: Dame Lillard will miss the start of the NBA playoffs for the Bucks because of the blood clot he has. I think the Pacers will win that series in 5. Sham Sharanya also just tweeted he has, however, made significant progress with the blood clot. There's optimism for his clearance at some point in the playoffs. But I'm with you guys. Like the Knicks thing for me too was just to not play the Bucks.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't want Giannis with every
I didn't
on
want
the
to see the
line. You
Pacers
don't.
either.
Yeah.
I'd rather see the Knicks than the Pacers.
No doubt.
Any day of the
like
week.
if you had a power ranking or a draft,
Yeah.
like you certainly would have taken the Knicks. There is no question. So there's that out there as well. Weezy D313. Well, don't just play Cade pick and roll ball. He needs to be able to play playoff basketball.
That is playoff basketball.
You're right.
That's it, almost exclusively.
Maybe he means
what it comes
Cade
down
needs to
to.
play more hero ball in terms of just taking his shots when he wants to, and I can understand that. But
And I keep seeing this too. Karl Anthony Towns will be the problems. Cat is soft, so I'm not worried about him. What did they see in him?
I mean,
why did they go get him?
He's
Karl
an
Anthony
upgrade.
Towns is a massive upgrade from Julius Randle. Karl Anthony Towns is a very good basketball player. He is soft though. So that is something that can happen. He's very soft, but he's still one of the best bigs in the league.
Yeah, hands down.
You know who I think that they're going to miss a lot? Hartenstein.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
He won them a lot of games last year, and he was a driving force of them having any success in the
In any
playoffs
big
last
moment, he was involved.
His rebounding was insane. His rim protection in the playoffs was great last year.
But Neil, they
they're gonna
got
miss him
Mitchell
for sure.
Robinson.
If Mitchell Robinson could stay healthy, he's a much better rim protector than Hartenstein.
Mikal Bridges is a guy that I've always liked him a lot.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
solid.
He's everything that a playoff team wants. He's a 3-and-D, and he plays every game.
I've always been desirous.
82 games, bro. That's got to run short eventually.
556 in a row.
Yes.
That's
556 straight games.
You don't see that in today's NBA. You just don't.
It's just when you start putting it together, like DNCNT
Malik
says.
Beasley played all 82 games this year.
Oh, that's what's up.
And Ron Holland only didn't play all 82 games because he was suspended for that one.
Which is tough because he could have played all 82 as a rookie.
As a rookie.
That would have been pretty cool.
It's a good look, yeah.
But it's going up a notch. There's no doubt about it. Danny G. Mikal scares me as well.
And that's what it is for me. Like I said, the Knicks have a top three trio of wing defenders in the NBA. Like it's like Minnesota, the Thunder, and the Knicks are probably the top three right now. Not in any order, but those Thunder are probably number one.
And that's concerning to me too.
But it's not for me. Like Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, they're going to be thrown and rotated on Cade Cunningham all series.
Yeah.
He cooks those guys. Yeah. He's shooting 58% on the season when guarded by OG Anunoby or Josh Hart. Cade is going to have to hit a lot of contested shots. He's going to have to hit a lot of tough shots in this series because the defenders are going to be there. I have a blind confidence that he is going to make those. Like, I think he's built
How do
for
you
this.
not at this point?
Yeah.
Like, literally, if you've watched him, especially towards the end of the year, whatever spot he wants to get to on the floor, he's going to get there and he's going to make the shot. It turnarounds, fadeaways, it don't matter. Like, floaters, like, you give him whatever he wants. If he gets to that spot, it's cash money.
Yeah.
I know, and it is. And I can't wait for this for Cade, too, because this is it, man. Like,
this is where you make your money at.
You've been sitting down with Shams and doing all the interviews and stuff like that. Now it's time to deliver.
You're not really viewed as a star until you perform in the playoffs.
And if he goes out there and he averages 38 against the Knicks, wins the series, come on now.
And like
Probably
D-Mac
not gonna
said,
average 38,
all
but
the pressure is on the Knicks.
Yeah.
We on free money right now.
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
And if we get them in one of these games, we win game one.
Oh
That shit
shit.
turns up to
everything
100.
everything turns. Well, that's what's wild about the playoffs, right? Like game one is everything.
Everything.
Because if the Knicks win it, you're like, oh my God, we have to win game two.
Right,
Or
right.
are we going to win 4 or 5 and we still got to go there twice?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's when the old analytics come into play and you start thinking about it. But if you get game one, then you got a house money roll in game two because
sir.
if you're the Knicks, your back's against the wall.
Yeah, and more times
immediately.
than not, that means you got to get a game on the road. And that's going to be hard to do in a jam-packed LCA where the fans is going to let New York hear it, bro.
I
D-Mac.
hate to break it down to this, but if there are two factors I think that are make or break for the Pistons in this series, the first one is if Isaiah Stewart plays every game.
Yeah.
Isaiah Stewart has to play every game. And two is Malik Beasley has to be what he's been this season. He can't go cold. If Malik Beasley stays hot,
He's going to have a game, though. He's going to have
that's
a 3 for 12
game.
game.
Have a game.
Yeah.
You got to be.
You have
to be good all series. You can have a game that happens,
Yeah.
but you can't have 3 games. You have to
Correct.
be good Malik Beasley, and Isaiah Stewart has to play all the games, and the Pistons will win the series.
It's just everything's on Cade, man. Like it just is. But this is the role, right?
And that's
when,
where the team
when you're
is
the
suited.
star.
Yeah.
This is how it works.
The
and
team
he's
is
built
built
for
around
this.
Cade. Absolutely.
Cade Cunningham is built for this moment because what did I say from the second I saw him? I call one of his games in college.
Yeah,
he will make the basketball play no matter the moment.
Yeah.
And he is a tough shot maker.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to
Makes
be
everybody
in the
around him
NBA
better.
playoffs. The defense is going to be there, but in the NBA, great offense beats good defense.
All the time.
You need to make tough shots, and I believe Cade Cunningham will.
On a side note, can you believe the Timberwolves are playing the Lakers in round 1?
Yeah, it's crazy.
They serving up the Timberwolves on the platter for the Lakers.
Like that's a round 1 matchup.
That's
It
going to be
is.
electric, dude. Oh, man. I can't wait for that.
Bro. the Lakers might fuck around and get to the finals this year.
They very well could. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the league. You got LeBron and Luka in a 7-game series.
I didn't know that Luka move with instant transaction, but goddamn, like
he gets buckets, man. Like he does, no doubt. DNCENT, they talk like Cade is the best point guard in the NBA and is going to be all NBA, which he is both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he's got enough run closing the season to make that all NBA line?
All NBA, he's definitely going to be all NBA.
If they don't, it's a travesty.
He's going to be. I think he's got second team locked down. I think first team. I don't know. You got Mitchell and SGA. They're going to be ahead of him, but second team for sure.
All right, let's take the break then. When we come back, we got Dr. Pierce. We got some special guests in studio as well. Very excited to have this conversation. Where are we going, Spenny?
Tell us about Jars Cannabis, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting a game or simply just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products. They've got 30 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations are right in Metro Detroit, so there's always one nearby. And if you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, get ready. New stores are coming your way. Go to jarscannabis.com to see where you can get your favorite product. This Saturday, 4/19. Yes, it is 420 weekend. Jars, Utica. We're back at it, 11 to 3. Darren McCarty brand out there with our friends at Jars. So we'll see you in Utica on a Saturday.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight.
This ball is gone. Boys are back in town.
Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Planet Fitness, live at the Planet Fitness Studios. There's over 50 Metro Detroit Planet Fitnesses. So that means that there's one close to you, as a matter of fact. Seems like everywhere I go around Metro Detroit, there's always one within 10 minutes at most away. And you can join right now. Get a black card membership option, just $24.99 a month. You get access to every Planet Fitness in the world. There's over 2,600 of them. Some people are out there paying $90, $100 a month for a gym membership. I don't get it either. Everything I need is at Planet Fitness. And again, the weights, the cardio equipment, all of it. It's all there for you. Very clean facilities as well. You take a shower, go on about your day. Go to planetfitness.com or just pull in the parking lot on your way home. Planet Fitness, don't pay more money to lift the same weights. All right, back at it here. Big D Energy, Neil Rule, 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread as well. On Tuesdays, of course, we talk to our injury insider, Dr. Pierce, courtesy of Amon-Ra of Southfield and the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. But today, Doc, you brought some friends with you as well. From the Midwest Sled Hockey League. That's right, in the Metro Detroit Sled Hockey Organization. We have Kate. Kate is here with Josh as well. And Kate, we always talk to Doc, but I want to start with you today. Okay, because you came in with hardware, which I'm certainly sure is something that Darren McCarty can respect. You guys are the Midwest Sled Hockey League champions.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, DMAC, you know something about that
Yeah,
for
I like
sure.
winners.
Yeah,
I like winners.
you like winners, so you're good in DMAC's book. But Kate, I want to start with this before we get to Doc in a second. Just take us through that. What made you, I guess, a champion in sled hockey, and what got you into sled hockey?
So what got me into sled hockey originally was my mom made me do it. She had heard about it from a friend with cerebral palsy, and I had heard about it, and I was like, no, I'm okay, but she made me try it, and I'm forever grateful for that. But unfortunately, when I was a kid, there wasn't a competitive team in the Detroit area, so I played out of Grand Rapids for 8 years, and so that was my competitive youth team, and then I've had the privilege to come back to Detroit as an adult and compete with the Midwest League, and it's been an awesome journey, and I'm really grateful for it.
No, but Doc, you've talked about that, right? Like, life is not a spectator sport. No matter what the challenges are, you can get involved.
Right. I mean, we started Athletes Unlimited 28 years ago. So we've always been, we never say no to anything. The sled hockey team, I think it became a little bit more famous, but it's been famous to us for years. But Vladdy brought a lot of attention to it last year when he started playing Vladimir back on the ice. And these are the guys he played with. These are the people that they played with, not necessarily guys, but the teammates. From going, from the sidelines, like she's saying, that's what Athletes Unlimited is about. This is what warms my heart. This is what gets me going. This is what Mac's been a participant of Athletes Unlimited from the beginning, and to create champions, and these guys are on the sidelines, kind of cheering our team on, but now we're cheering them on. And I think hopefully we'll pull some clips up from the game. But I mean, these guys basically, when I speak, and that's Max can contest to it, that when I'm at my outings or we talk about Athletes Unlimited, this is like at the beginning of it was about my big athletes, the Drapers, McCartys, the Eismans that would come. And then something clicked that these guys were the real celebrities. And I think, Mac echoed that.
No, it's absolutely true, because I think that to the core of what Athletes Unlimited is, it's unlimited to what you want to do and how we can put you in there. And I'll tell you this, Neil. From being around the sled hockey athletes and seeing the Bell Tire team, like Doc had mentioned, Vladimir Konstantinov, and for them getting him back on the ice and stuff like this. But don't knock it. It is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. We get out there in that sled, dude. I can't even go. If a hockey shift is like 35, 45 seconds, dude, I'm blown out in 20 seconds on this sled, and watch these kids and adults, to be able to take this, no matter what their disability is, in different forms, right? But as long as they're in that sled team and whip that puck around and playing hockey, they're as much hockey players as we are, and they're actually, like, I refuse to do it. Right? I refuse to do it anymore. I got humbled enough, so I just rather watch these guys do that, and I think it's a testament, right? They're out here bringing back championships, and they're all competing with each other. So the love of what, to bring the athletes together, and what you find as an athlete, it's the locker room, and it's the camaraderie that you miss, and to be able to be inspirations, to be able to overcome whatever it is, and not, to let it hold them back. It's a testament to not only to Doc for being behind it and his organization, Lighting the Lamp, but for these young adults and the kids to get out there and do it. Like Kate, like the fact that, like Kate even says, is like, I'm good, but my mom made me do it. I'm grateful my mom made me do it. So maybe this is a lesson to everybody out there. It's okay to try things. It's okay to try things. You might not like them, but at least you tried.
Yeah.
No doubt. Josh, a lot of love for the Bell Tire hockey jersey as well. So the people out there,
rep,
yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Kate. Josh is here as well from the Metro Detroit sled hockey team. They're Midwest Sled Hockey League champions. But Kate, I want to back up to that. You said that your mom made you do it, right? And I would imagine that story's kind of common. How do you overcome that? How do you overcome whatever was it? Were you afraid to do it? Like what were the reasons that you didn't want to get involved?
I mean, so I had grown up my mom always had me in sports. She had me in swimming, horseback riding. She always had me trying things. But I guess I didn't come from a hockey family. My brother and sister were both really competitive swimmers, hence like I tried swimming. But I mean, she had just heard about it and she was like, this sounds like a great opportunity because hockey is a team sport. And growing up with a disability in school, you don't get that community because not a lot of other people understand what you're going through. So I think just the team dynamic of hockey is really what drew, like as I kept like trying it and continuing with it, it really drew me to it because this community is unmatched. I mean, it's an incredible sport, but the community is even better. So I think that it is a pretty common experience once you try it to be sucked into it.
Well, Doc, since you're here, and I'm kind of curious now, listening to Kate's story and then listening to what DMAC talked about, why does DMAC get gassed after 20 seconds of this? Why is Kate going around him in circles and things like that? What's the biomechanics on it, I guess?
I mean, first of all, I mean, he's not training every day. I mean, like Josh, to watch him, that's the wrong video. That's the pathetic one.
Well, Doc, yeah, you were trying it, huh?
No, they got me. He's so encouraging. I mean, just as a person, he was so motivating and upbeat. I mean, you're talking about people with disabilities. Here we are at the game. These guys zip around this ice like crazy. When you watch at Olympic level even, like these guys are moving so quickly, and Josh is one of them. You know, we have a great team, a very competitive team. You know, it's great that we do it for a recreational, but now we're competing. These guys are competing for championships. We have a potential two Olympians on the team. So we're going for getting people out, one, and getting off the couch and not feeling sorry for yourself and getting, being out there. Like if it's a mom or if it's this show or if it's somebody, our goal is to have that access point. There's 40 different sports for people with disabilities right now, which is way more than when we started. I mean, sled hockey wasn't really a thing. We now support it because of the passion that I see and what it's doing differently. I'm trying to avoid Mac and putting him on the spot that he's just not properly conditioned. But it's true. It's sports specific. It's very big on our cross training. We can get into our cross training and everything. But these, the individuals that play this sport are doing it and practicing every day. Mac is a competitor. If we put him in that sled for 2 weeks, he'd be lasting at least 22 seconds on that ice.
Absolutely. Conditioning. No, I get my hits and I get off.
That's right.
People are talking about that in the chat right now, Kate. They're saying, for those that don't know, it's a very physical game. Sled hockey is a very, very physical game, which I was surprised to see that, but then I saw the clips right there and saw people were in there banging it up, and it's just, what kind of condition, Kate, do you have to be in to play this game well?
I mean, hockey is hockey, so no matter what kind it is, no matter how you're playing it, whether it's sled hockey, blind hockey, deaf hockey, able-bodied hockey, no matter what kind of hockey it is, it's going to be a physical game. So, I mean, for me personally, I play wheelchair tennis as well, so for me it's a lot of cross-training and, hitting the gym and then obviously skating. So you have to be really dedicated to, keeping in shape to be able to take some of those hits and to be able to give them as well.
Josh, I'm curious too, kind of your path. Your path to being involved with all this as well. What was it like for you?
Well, I actually played stand-up hockey most of my life, since skates on 2 years old, But my aunt and uncle actually started the sled hockey program out in Fraser originally. So I watched them my whole life. I've been around just watching them as I'm growing up, watching them all overcome all these cool challenges. And, then I met Kate, I met Charlie, and a bunch of other teammates. And I hurt myself in the Marine Corps, so I came back and I was like, oh, well, I already know what hockey I can play now. So it's just a cool path. So
was it seamless for you then? I mean,
I wouldn't go seamless, but, it took a week or two.
A week or two? Oh, well, that's it, huh?
Tell them what your disability is.
So my knee, it just, it doesn't work right. I couldn't tell you what the disability is. I've never been told myself. It just never works. Unfortunately.
Yeah. And then Kate.
So for me, my disability, when I was 3 months old, I got diagnosed with neuroblastoma, stage 4, which is a rare cancer of the nervous system, and the tumor compressed my spinal cord. So it left me with an incomplete spinal cord injury, which means I can't just jump up out of here and walk out of the room. Right. But I can stand for a little bit with assistive devices, but yeah, so I use a wheelchair most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the disabilities, and we have amputations, we have spinal cord injuries, we have kids who are born with spinal bifida. You know, it's just all the ranges. So to understand that these are physical disabilities, not like Special Olympics where it's more mental. Some of these guys could be accused of being mental, but we won't go there. But yeah, I mean, I think where we're going with this team, I think the excitement, you know, what we like to do is create awareness, and bringing them on the show is about awareness. But the championship, you know, is also great. I don't know what else is going on in that chat, but I mean, they were very inspiring. I hate to push on it, but I do almost every time I talk about Athletes Unlimited, is that the world is just in a darker place than I like it. And when you start talking to these individuals, it puts things in perspective, you know, what they're going through. Like, you know, for you know, it's not I get up, I bounce out of bed, I brush my teeth, and I'm running late to school. It's not that. It's a bigger process. When she says, I have to work out for 2 different sports, I cross-train, it's like, oh, we're listening to it. But imagine how fortunate, you know, not that they're unfortunate or disfortunate. I never want to go that direction, but be happy with who you are and what you're dealing with on a daily basis, and keep things in perspective. I mean, you guys are inspiring. They speak at big auditoriums. I mean, a lot of the people involved in Athletes Unlimited, myself, we talk to big auditoriums. We, you know, put life in perspective when we start talking about stuff. And Mac was, you know, part of that at our golf outings. He's like, it's enough about me and the Red Wings and stuff. You know, let's talk about the athletes. And that really, you know, made a switch about 25 years ago. And that's been where, you know, I think when we started, I always talk about how Nike and Gatorade, I met with both of them because of my involvement with the NBA back in the day. And they were like, yeah, we love it. We're just, the world's not ready for it. And now to see every one of those commercials, the Toyota commercials, the Tide commercials, you know, it's just, it's great that they're getting, you know, they're part of the world because they should be.
No, absolutely. And you guys doing it. You played your part, certainly, in bringing that awareness, too. You can get involved. MetroDetroitSledHockey.org is the website. So just with them being here, if you wanted some more information on it, you want to take a look and see what it's all about, it's all right there for you. What's next for you guys? What's the next big game? What's the next big competition?
So our next big competition is Sled Nationals out in Florida. It's May 1st through the 4th. You know, we're sending our team out there. We're going to compete in Tier 4. Our Tier 1 team, there's, you know, one of the players just had a kid, a few injuries. So unfortunately, our Tier 1 couldn't go. But our Tier 4 team, which is just great, you know, they're going out there. They're going to hopefully bring back another championship for us. That's our next pretty big event coming up, you know, trying to get a little training in for that still and everything.
Well, guys, it was great to catch up with you guys. It was a big honor having you guys here as well. You got hardware, so DMAC was happy about it.
Hardware up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah. Show that one off there. There you go. DMAC, that's a pretty good one to lift too, right?
You guys,
Just like that?
yeah, you got it down, bro. You're well rehearsed. My question is, how many sodas can you fit in there? You guys drink out of it, right?
I can't disclose that at this time, you know.
It's actually a lot deeper than the Stanley Cup. There's probably holds a little bit
Do you
more.
think you can get 17 and a half beers in that thing, Doc? I do not think so.
No, easily.
Easily? Man, there you go.
Easily? All right. I'll
There's
take
a good 2-4. Spenny. Challenge
Spenny,
after
yeah, Spenny
between
would
shows.
Jim 3 in the chat. Much respect. It's very inspiring to see programs like this and to see people participating in them as well. So the chat appreciates it for sure. And again, thank you guys for coming by.
A big shout out for people that know someone with disabilities or anything like that. The awareness needs to be out there. I mean, in Greater Michigan, you know, or Greater Detroit area, throughout the whole state, we support everybody. I mean, if there's someone there that's limited by a wheelchair, a sports chair, any adaptive equipment, you know, Athletes Unlimited, and like we do here. I mean, we took a lot of burden off the people that run this by financially, you know, it comes down. The fortunate thing is they won a championship. The unfortunate thing is it's more costly because they do have to go on to that championship. And we do, you know, we want to cover all their costs so there's no limits from a financial standpoint. So we'd love to do, you know, our golf outing we put out, but for those people in the chat that love what we do and the secret sauce and all that, maybe we'll do a fundraiser for secret sauce t-shirts.
Secret sauce Doc. Those would move. They said some people in the chat were disappointed. You haven't said secret sauce once. But there you did it. So there it is.
I gotta have my calling.
It's your brand, man. It's your brand, no doubt.
Right, Doc over a cauldron making the secret sauce.
Yeah,
I think
that like back in the day. Now you probably.
Anything else you guys wanted to say or talk about?
Okay, you want to talk about Mexico?
You going to Mexico?
Yes. What's that?
Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I actually just came back from Mexico about 2 weeks ago with some other players. We were all volunteers, so that we had Tyler McGregor, Josh Pauls, Brett Bolton, Karina Villegas. We had six of us go, and it was an incredible experience. We went down to Mexico City, and we were trying to help build and promote sled hockey there. It was the first time that they've had sled hockey, so to be able to share the love of the game and help grow the game and to be able to meet everyone down there was an incredible experience, and there's no one better to learn from than the captains of Team USA and Team Canada. So I was very grateful to be able to have that experience and go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, participants and ambassadors. I like it.
Exactly. It's not just the NBA going to Australia starting a new team. We're doing stuff here too.
Yeah, they're going to be doing the NFL model. You'll be going to Australia and everywhere next. No, but again, guys, we appreciate you coming by for sure. Good luck down in Florida.
Walking anytime, Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's up, everybody? We're going to be doing the watch party. Pistons, Knicks, the pregame show.
Watch.
5. That's right.
Let them watch.
the watch party starts at 6 o'clock, and we'll have a Pistons postgame show. Yes, guys, we're just as stunned as you guys. For the first time since Woodward's been in existence, it's a Pistons playoff watch party. That is right. Pistons, Knicks. Watch it with us. We got you covered. Pregame, watch party, post-game. You know how we do it. Nobody is doing Pistons coverage like Woodward Sports.
Look at Pistons getting the Lions treatment.
Absolutely they are. Real quick, too, before we sign off, I did want to send a shout-out to John Keating.
The man, the myth, the legend. What a great dude. Anybody doesn't know, there it is from last night as John Keating with the last Red Wing home game signed off for his, the last home game done. He's retiring. Thought that was such a classy move, and heard Dylan Larkin was the one that initiated it. And I actually was I went and watched it in 125 row 9. Shout out to my boy Jerry and Eric and John, who won a contest with the greenhouse, and we were down at the game. But they did the cheer to thank everybody for the season. Then they all went to the one end where John Keating was, and gave him a thank you. And I thought that was big. A lot of times you don't realize how big the media people that work for your team, they're part of your family too. So it just is a big part of it. So whatever you do, John, he's one of the best dudes in the sport, and I wish him all the best in retirement. Hopefully we'll see him down at Tiger Stadium.
IT Hips. I remember when John Keating was on Pass Sports back in the day. Me too. A young Neil watching Pass Sports. Harold Williams, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, WrestleMania, Easter weekend. So much going on this weekend. It is a lot going on. So that'll do it for today. For DMAC, KG, Spencer Raxter, I'm Neil Rule. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.